like I'm always on the clock. Soon as I open my eyes, I'm at my fucking job.
Alright, so this is my second trick of the trade video. It's actually the reverse of what I was planning, but as you can see, got my jumper cables hooked up, and it's hooked up to the battery on the reefer unit. Yep. Right, so as y'all saw, I had to hook up the jumper cables from the battery post on the truck to the battery, or the battery in the reefer unit. Originally I was going to make this video because when I left home, even though I always turn the battery switch off when I go home, for some reason my inverter turned on and drained my batteries, so my truck wouldn't start, wouldn't turn over when I got ready to leave. Well, Sunday night I went down to pick up the load, and I came back home. But when I got ready to leave out to go pick up the load, the truck wouldn't turn over. So I remembered something that I think we were told this in Prime. It's not like this is something I just innately knew. I didn't know that. But I remember going through the orientation at Prime, and they said that if we ever had to jump, if our truck ever died and we hooked up to a trailer, of course this only applies to reefer drivers, but if our truck ever died and we needed a jump, all you got to do is simply plug up, hook up to the battery in the reefer unit, turn it on, hook it up to your truck, and it'll recharge the battery. And that's exactly what I did to get my truck started. In order for me to leave home, I hooked it up, I let the reefer unit run for 5 to 10 minutes. It had built up enough juice to turn the engine over, and I just drove the 130 miles, whatever it was, south to go pick up the load I got, and then obviously the same amount of miles back. And by the time I got back, the batteries had, for them running that at the time, the batteries had charged up enough. It was charging at the 14 volts that it is supposed to be at, and it's been fine ever since. You know, I would shut her off, start her back up, been no problem. I don't know what happened when I was at home. I know my inverter was on, which I don't understand, because if I killed the battery power, the inverter shouldn't have a way to turn on. But when I opened the door up, the inverter was making this loud beeping sound, and then the truck wouldn't turn on. So that's also what your APU is for, to charge your batteries. As they drain, it automatically kick in. But like I said, my batteries were turned off, so the APU couldn't even kick in. But here I am doing the same procedure, but it's the reverse. I'm here picking up this load, and I go and look at the alarm that's went off on the reefer, and it's saying that the battery voltage is too low. And I'm like, okay, that's the first. Usually it's believing because it's the open door alarm or whatever, something like that. The unit shut down because it says the door is open even though the door is closed. But it was reading that there's a low voltage meter. So I went in and hooked it up, and it's tried to turn over twice. Hasn't had any success yet. So we're gonna let it run, let it charge up for several minutes, and hopefully that'll get that battery good charged up enough so that it can run and keep this damn load cool. Now, this is a meat load, and I can't afford to have this unit shutting off while I'm sleeping and not turning back on and making the load go bad. So I'm probably not gonna let her sleep tonight, because I'm gonna have to wake up. I think she's running now. Let's go ahead and check. I ain't gonna get a lot of sleep tonight. Definitely not gonna get a lot of sleep tonight, because I'm gonna probably set my alarm every 3 or 4 hours to wake up to make sure the damn thing is running. But let's go out here and switch. The alarm light is no longer blinking. You see we're way higher than we're supposed to be. Set point is 20, box 372. There hasn't cut on yet. Let's see. That looks okay. Let's see didn't work. We're gonna shut it down. It's not getting enough time to charge. It keeps trying to cut on, so let's let it charge up a couple minutes, and we'll come back out here and see what it's doing. All right, so a quick update as to how things worked out. They didn't work, not because of the process, because like I mentioned earlier, I did the same exact thing Sunday night when I left to go pick up the load coming off of home time. I had to jump my truck using the reefer unit battery, and it worked just fine. But the reason it didn't work in the reverse, trying to jump the reefer unit battery, is because the battery in the reefer unit was just completely drained, completely dead. Long story short, he needed a brand new battery. So other than that, like I said, the concept remains the same. You can do that either way, vice versa, to jump the truck or to jump the reefer unit. So yeah, got one more trick of the trade video I'm going to do at some point in the next couple days, and so I'll be getting that done and putting that up. But until then, as always,
I stay on the clock, I'm always on the